Hello and welcome to episode 44 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. I hope this episode finds you well as usual. And as usual, it's me, James, Dexterity Box, and Punk Chef 41, who is also known as Jake. How's your week been, my friend?
Difficult. It's been a very difficult week as everyone. Before we start, I want to say thank you for everyone who's left comments on the post I made on Friday. I much appreciated it. It was a spur of the moment kind of thing, and this week got on top of me. Major league. I do tend to look after myself, but this time of year I don't do well. I don't do well around the Christmassy family stuff. It just something I need to learn to do because I have one. Well, that sounds like I nicked one. You got that family awesome. I stole it from B&M.
I'm just holding back because I'm the one that's going to make all the jokes, so I'm just not. I'm just going to stand and let you talk because you know me.
Yeah, it was a difficult week, but thank you. To be fair, a lot of that video was just to let people know because the last video I made on that, I had long hair and no beard, and I look about 12.
On a serious note, like, obviously you and me chat all the time, I know about, and it's one of those where, like, it is something that's part of your life, and I've also known people that go, you know, why does he struggle with this? Why is this? Why is that? Why is that? And they say it out of curiosity, and I've known people before I really knew you who said, oh, that guy, what's going on with him, that sort of thing, you know, because you were big in the Wednesday scene.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that, like, well, no, there is a reason behind that. Do you know what I mean? So don't just, and I don't just make the assumptions or think it is harder for you in that sense. So it was important, and I'm glad that obviously your community,
our community
as well,
yeah,
we're
the thing is
about that.
The thing that you got is what you think is a really short video that I make is actually about an hour long with how many fits I have to edit out of it. Because the last thing I want to do is have a fit and then possibly trigger somebody else.
I have no idea where we were. Jake had a child interrupt it. His child, not the one he keeps in the basement. That's a different child.
I have a basement now. What?
He does have a basement, yeah. And he's not denying it, in fairness. But yeah, we had to cut that out. He was just asking how my week's been. It's been a crap week. I'm not going to lie. I've had an absolutely crap week. So hopefully we can pick things up a little bit.
Well, we literally messaged each other. You messaged me on Friday, check how it was. You said, well, it's been a rubbish week for me, and it's been a rubbish week too. We'll just rant about stuff and do what we normally do. And sometimes doing this can be very therapeutic to speak to another Wednesday fan other than like just you speaking to a camera or speaking in comment section, because you get to bounce ideas off. You get to take the piss out of our talk. I get to take the piss out. He sometimes doesn't have his teeth in, but we're all right at 4:00. You don't normally do well on a morning, do you?
It's also, no, to be honest, it's because we record these straight when I get back from work now, isn't it? Because Monday's my earlier finish, which just means I live closer to where I work on Monday. But it means we come back and we record this, but I still pretty much go do the edit of the document.
Yeah.
Hello, Talking Wednesday. But it's part of my routine now. We've got a routine. We've got this in here. And it's nice to have that. I think we might do some scheduled stuff and something a bit different over the Christmas break. I really need that break at Christmas. Yeah. I don't know about yourself, and I don't know about you all out there, but I'm pretty sure we're all needing a break. But I am conscious about us missing weeks, and I don't want us to do that. You know,
I think if we can do some stuff that we can put up around it, that Christmassy based or something like that, just to keep things going. Like, I don't know if you'd had any thoughts that idea I sent you last week of the community topic.
Okay, another quick cut in the podcast. Yep. In the podcast.
Okay.
No, I said podcast. We're having custard pudding. Apparently, I don't know why we're having custard pudding. My brain is going now. You're making me do all these cuts on an already tight schedule. Thank you for that. But yeah, we've got a cool idea for Christmas there, which we'll talk about. But we want to make sure the ideas stay fairly unique, so we won't say them well in advance.
Because things has happened in the past.
Indeed. But it's just one of them. It's just one of them weeks. For some reason, like, November's been rough, and it's only the 15th as of the day of recording this. Well, 16th the day it's coming out. So
Jesus, yeah.
it's it does feel like December's just it's basically, it's like, where's November going? And also, how long is this November at the same time?
Yeah.
But December's probably going to fly by. It's annoying that Christmas is at a weekend this year as well. Like, it's fallen weird. And some people might like weekend Christmases, but I don't really.
I'm not going to lie. I ain't got nothing sorted yet.
I've sorted all of Soph's stuff. I got that done because I didn't want to think about it. I've got to sort everybody else out.
We're really behind. We had a house issue that needed sorting beforehand, so it wiped the savings out.
The child escaped. They had to reinforce the cage. Carry on.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so we'd also got a birthday. Little Miss decided it would have been end of this month would have been her birthday, but she was 2 weeks late. So we have a birthday in December to deal with as well. So 2 weeks before Christmas, which is fun.
Well, that's annoying. December birthdays are always annoying. My mum's a December birthday.
Yeah.
And it's always that one where you go, do I just wait and then combine it? But you can't really do that.
No. Well, we literally had the whole.
And I'm just reminding myself again that I need to sort my mother's birthday present out because I always forget as well because my brain goes to Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I go, God damn it. Yeah. Carry on.
With us, it's a weird one because of you don't want to get too much on a birthday, but then you don't want to skimp on Christmas. So you got to like split certain things up. So you got to like split it. But like I know somebody she got 3 Christmas babies. They're all December babies.
That's like an advert for Durex, isn't it?
Yeah, she got
in itself.
She got 3 Christmas babies, and I turned around and said, "Didn't you plan this and think I'll have it at this point? Then I won't have a Christmas baby?" He said, "Thinking about it, I really should have done because I am very skint around this time of year."
I'm not going to say there's a very specific month. A lot is happening for that to happen. Just saying.
They worked it out. There's a wedding anniversary around it.
Ah, right, okay. There is a child I know. In a wider context, like friend of a friend. No, a friend. I don't want to give it too specific who this is because some of my friends listen to this. So we did realize. Yeah, we did realize that their child is a product of a birthday because we did the dates.
It's always fun when people figure out the dates, but it's even worse when you get older.
Well, we were just like, hang on. Because we just one of them random things. We're like, oh, that's awkward. That is awkward.
Well, it's one of the ones where, as my core friends,
this is a Sheffield Wednesday podcast, by the way.
We will go on to Wednesday stuff and go on to house casing, but one of the things that it was really funny. We were all sat in the pub and we were all talking about it, and then he's sitting there and we were talking about families and birthdays, and he literally just puts his pint down and he goes, "Oh my God, that's horrible." And we went, "What?" "Well, at least I now know my dad had a good birthday."
Oh, well.
Yeah.
What way to cheer your week up about talking about conception, eh?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Find me another Sheffield Wednesday podcast that's like that.
Some more, that's true. That's definitely our unique element. Some more housekeeping. Memberships available. Click join below this video. You support us financially, helps us out, would be great. You've asked us for Patreons. You've asked us for all of that. Down the line, yes. If we can get enough interest on the YouTube memberships, we will start branching out. Merch, all that sort of stuff. We'll do it. We'll do it if there's enough there for it. Okay. Reviews, please leave us reviews. Podchaser, Apple reviews. Another week goes by without another audio review, and a piece of my soul.
I'm literally gonna get like a countdown put behind me, and I'm gonna keep putting it each time.
Yep. If you're watching this topically and it hasn't closed, Sheffield Wednesday are currently giving away Football Manager codes on the Twitter. There's a competition, a retweet competition. There's 2 available. So if you want to get your hands on Football Manager 2022, go to the Wednesday Twitter, retweet it. Very Wednesday specific there. I actually won one back in the day.
Did you?
Like years ago. Yeah. So it does happen. So go retweet that.
I won ticket to a Wednesday game once doing that as well. So it does happen. Yeah. I think it was Southampton. It was a long time ago.
More housekeeping. I still haven't sorted the discount links out. There's a load of people I've not replied to in my inboxes. I will set a link with like 15 entries or something at some point and get you all in at once. I assure you.
Yeah.
I just need to actually do it. But I will say, I want to say this as well. We do not do dexterity watches on Saturdays. Obviously, there's a Saturday blackout, but every single game, people are asking me, where's dexterity watch, which is lovely.
It's great that lovely. You want to do one.
But it's one of those things where I live in the UK. There is a chance that I might not always work in the UK, might be able to do some stuff. There was stuff in the pipeline. There may stuff come in the pipeline again where I'm away at the weekends, maybe slightly abroad where I could do stuff like that. I'd need to take a portable streaming setup, but I have that now. But it's one of those where I do not do dexterity watches on Saturdays because there's a Saturday blackout.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's an early kickoff and we're on TV, I also might not do it because I get one day off a week. And if I go to the football myself, I enjoy the day. I take that one day. I do Tuesday nights. So I will do the Tuesday nights. Again, not every Tuesday night, but every league game this season that's been on a Tuesday night that Wednesday have played, I have streamed.
Yep,
so we are there. Just a reminder that Saturdays, Dexterity Watch has never been there, apart from in COVID.
It only was there during COVID. And the other thing is, respect Dex's time to himself because he edits these straight after we do the podcast. And then that's his Monday. And it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of... He loves doing the content, but also respect that he's got other things he's got to like, so...
Well, ideally, I could do with an editor again. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, I say again, I've always done it myself.
I don't know how you become
I don't like it.
I can't see you
I'd
being
need it to be no, I'd need it to be a... Oh, God. I'd need it to be somebody I trusted a lot. But it's one of those where... Also, to be honest, editors aren't really a thing when you don't need them specifically because it'd be a pain in the arse to send all the files as well. I'd have to send all the files and do all of that.
Well, you would have to wait for my files, then send your files off, and then...
I am a little bit of a control freak as well, and I don't always like not having the final watch on it, so it'd probably be the same amount of work anyway.
There's a quality thing as well because we like things to look and sound right. It's a video podcast and it's also a audio podcast. If you haven't got 50-50 both, there's no point doing it.
It's very true. It's very true. Let's get into the Wednesday side of it, shall we?
Yep.
Psych. We're not. We've got a great question from Mr. LED. Not one of the... It's not... Mr. LED, this is good. It's good, but it's not on the level of flip-flop questions. It's not on the level of some of the epic tales we've been having, the duck-sized horses, horse-sized ducks, all of that sort of stuff recently. But he does ask what our... but it's a valiant effort. Mr. LED asked what's our favourite pub in Sheffield. So, what's your favourite pub in Sheffield?
Dove and Rainbow.
Really?
I like going in there, yeah. I've got
a story to tell you later about that pub. Carry on.
I don't go in much anymore because it went downhill, but I lost a very close friend who we used to go in there all the time. For God's
sake, we were going to have very different stories about that pub.
No, you're probably not because he was an ass. In a loving way. But it was the one where we used to drink in all the time. To be fair, I haven't been able to drink in the pub properly since being diagnosed. So
no, yeah, fair. It's more of a bar, but I like West Street. I've always liked West Street.
Yeah.
Played it a lot. It's one of the ones that you just go in, you have a laugh.
Decent bouncers as well.
It's always been good there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corp and Leadmill was all right if it had a decent bloody band.
I remember when we were like in a band where we were like 18, 19, but a couple of our members were like 17.
Yeah.
And they didn't have one of them didn't nearly get in to play our own gig. Because we got in, we set up in the afternoon. We'd already set up, so we'd gone out the back and gone round, right? And then we'd gone like to Taco Bell, KFC or something that's around the corner from there. And then we'd come back to get ready, for the show that night. And we all went through, and we were like, where is he? And he was talking to the bouncer who wasn't letting him in. And we were like, no, he's his bass is there. Can you bring? It's always the bassist. Can you bring? Can you bring it? It's always the bassist.
Yeah, I have a lot of good stories about bassists and I'm going wandering and walking about, and then you're like, we're about to go on in like a minute. Where is he? I don't know. And then suddenly he just appears. It's like, I've been fine. I'm on time. You're really not.
I'm after a bass at the minute, to be fair. I don't really have a decent one. I need to put... I think I might splurge on a Fender Jazz, but...
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, it's just the space to put instruments at the minute. Yes.
One of my favourite stories, though, was Lead Mill and the band lineup with Glitterati, Therapy, and the Wild Hearts. Awesome gig. And I remember afterwards going, my sister's she's very much in the band scene and she gets on with a lot of them off social media, get talking to them. She gets quite chatty with them. And we're all just about to leave and Ginger from the Wild Hearts go, where are you all going?
I could do with a contact at Lead Mill. So if any of our audience have got one, or you've got one,
I might have one.
Yeah, let me know, because if we did a Sheffield show on this tour that we're thinking about doing some stuff in summer, if we can next summer, I'd like to do Lead Mill or something. But
Lead Mill's decent.
We'd need probably a pretty decent bill for that. We'd need probably guaranteed decent crowd. So. Looking at you, Talking Wednesday audience, let's get drunk. But yeah, I'd say our West Street's always a laugh. Either that or the thing is always like, let's just do West Street, because there's been some good sound guys over there over the time. Only once we didn't have decent sound there, but most of the times the sound's always been really good there. They've always got it pretty much bang on. The thing is, that's important for us now because we're looking at using more track-based stuff, because we don't have as many members in the band that we need for the rig, because that would be expensive.
So you really need to have decent
we
sound,
really
right?
need somebody that can understand how to work a rig, basically. So if we're I also need to rely on my drummer, who's probably going to cue most of this stuff. But we
best sound guy we had to have was Sid the Leopard in Donny.
We don't currently have a synth player or a live synth. And I've written most of it.
Are you doing a call out here for band members?
Pretty much. I've wrote most of my new EP on a synth.
Well, Hub could do it, but I don't know how you do remote.
Yeah, oh yeah. We'll zoom him in from India, shall we? Great shout.
What time is it there? 3 a.m. You're not going to wake people up? It's fine.
I mean, to be fair, mate, 3 o'clock in the morning would be whatever here, because isn't he usually like talking to us at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
When so he'd be like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. or whatever when we're going on stage. Right.
Anyway.
Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday had 2 games this week, starting off with the Pizza Cup, Sheffield Wednesday versus Harrogate Town. 4-0 result.
It was a good game, but that goal line doesn't say the entire story.
Well, tell me, Jake.
Harrogate Town were a lot better. They were a hell of a lot better. And if they
how is that possible? No, how is that possible if we scored 4 goals? We scored 4 goals. So how is that possible that they were the better side?
Because we got lucky. We found our shooting.
We got lucky to score 4 goals.
Well,
I've got to play the Twitter advocate here. We got lucky to score 4 goals.
It didn't tell the whole story. Let's put it that way.
In fairness,
they had some great chances and they could have done well.
It says something that Wildsmith was man of the match, pretty much, wasn't it?
Also, Steve's favourite player scored.
Addy Owen.
Yeah,
he did he?
Yeah.
Good old Addy Owen.
It was nice to see Berahino get on the score sheet. It was
Who needs Michael Owen? We've got Addy Owen. Gonna start something there just for Steve. But we've got latency today, mate. So I apologise if this show's on the podcast. But I knew what you mean. I was being facetious. About the 4 goals. But the point is, you can't really knock a 4-goal scoreline.
Well, you couldn't. I don't think you could knock it. Wildmouth showed us how actually he improved a little bit since more coming in the new thing. I personally think he's actually really improved, and possibly the idea with Bailey going on international duty is actually done in the world of good because he's playing. So you never know, might see him get a contract with us or impress somewhere else, someone watching and keeping tabs on. It was the one where you see all the games and the Berahino stuff, like, right, this is where we're going to see him kick on, he's going to do something. I'm still not 100% sure with Berahino. I'm really not. And it's getting a bit worrying, and we'll talk about it in the Gillingham game, why it's getting worrying. But
top of the group,
we go through, we play Huddersfield Town in the next round.
Yeah.
No, we don't play Hartlepool. What am I about?
I said yes, no, originally, and then as soon as the yes was coming out, I was like, hang on.
It's Hartlepool, so it's...
That's a throwback.
It is. It's when we first got up out of League One originally.
I know, I was there.
Ditto.
I was not very old. Well, I was, but I was old enough to remember it.
You're not got that old. Your dementia's not kicked in yet.
No, I remember somebody launching a ball on the top of a bank. You know, because everybody was in the set going through, and somebody launched a ball on the top of a bank, but somebody climbed up to the top of the roof of this bank and then launched it up in the air from there. So it came back down like a missile. I remember that. Let's move on to Gillingham then.
We had most of the typical Wednesday thing. If we start well and we're looking like we're going forward, and it was a former Wednesday player academy player will come back and haunt us. Vladimir Owen. I had a funny feeling he would do so because he's a very good player in the League 1, League 2 scene. And
speaking about having a funny feeling, Jake, you know when we're talking about like Wednesday's performance and all that sort of thing, like you inspired me recently because we did a podcast and I spoke about Bostock and I was like, we're gonna pay for him. Can you explain this to me, please?
The balls are going in.
Just in case you didn't hear that there.
The balls are going in.
And just again.
The balls are going in. It's just a new version. It's just a new version. The balls are going in.
The what? What is that? What were going in?
The balls are going in.
I'm not quite sure if he managed to. What did he fit in? What?
The balls are going in. The balls are going in.
So, can you explain the balls? Hang on, no, sorry. I think you say it best. Can you explain what?
The balls are going in.
What was that referring to, sir?
So, the balls were going into the box, but we weren't able to finish them. And this is the whole thing. We were creating a lot of chances. It was another one of those games where we're creating so many chances and we can't finish them.
It says a lot that I had it on. And me and Soph were like, just because it was on in the background, I was like, oh, so what did Jake think about the game today? And we both turned and looked at each other when you said in this phrasing.
The balls are going in.
It was perfect, Jake.
Yeah. You've thrown me now. To be fair, Gillingham, when they did go 1-0 up in 21 minutes, they went into typical Steve Evans style football. We're going to throw ourselves to the floor. We're going to have this injury. We're going to have that injury. And it's, oh, God, I don't know how Gillingham fans watch this and enjoy it because it's horrible. Because I could understand it's like right near the end and you're trying to waste time. But from the 21st minute...
Oh, no, it was like when... Oxford, wasn't it? Oxford did it, and it was against their character. Yeah. That was there is some teams that Oxford weren't apparently one of those teams before, but Gillingham, Steve Evans, that's what he's going to do. He's going to get a goal up. He did say after the match, and this is from Kent Online. He was said, and quote, "I think if Sheffield Wednesday were away in League One, winning 1-0 and they're in control of the game, then they're going to manage the game, aren't they?"
You watched that game this year?
Yes, I was going to say that also we're not going to manage it from the 21st minute. We're going to try and get another goal and kill it off and then concede 3 in the 80th minute. Come on, get it right, Steve. Continuing the quote. Continuing the quote, he says, if you are Sheffield Wednesday, it doesn't matter if you're playing League One. There is not a Sheffield Wednesday fan that I know who thinks they should be in League One. Not one of them from a distance, and being a rival manager on few occasions, they shouldn't be. It's a magnificent football club, absolutely magnificent supporters, and it must be an absolute privilege as a player or manager to represent them. That is the plus side, but it is my job as a manager, whether it's Rotherham, Leeds or Gillingham, to come up with a plan to stop what they are trying to do, and I think we did that. That is a manager putting his CV in.
Right, yes, and he got approached by Milan a couple of seasons ago for the job. They had a meeting. He was going to be our manager at one point.
Oh, no. Honestly, no. I don't care.
No.
No.
No. The thing is, we had 22 shots and 9 on target. Corbeanu looked absolutely superb again. And he played him in like a left wing-back role. And everyone on Twitter goes, he's not a left wing-back, he's a left winger. Why is he doing it? But it worked. And Canberra getting another goal. I'm liking Canberra a lot more. He's working really well.
I will say there was a viral tweet on the Wednesday Twitter going around. I apologise for not crediting you, mate. I can't remember who tweeted it. I just saw it, when you get the recommended Sheffield Wednesday stuff. Someone said, how are our players supposed to be anything other than, I'm paraphrasing, other than crap, when everybody always says how our players aren't good enough, so how can we expect them to be doing well? It's the double standard from the fans, and I thought that was a really, really good way of putting it, because there is that double standard there, we can't say that players can't do this, can't do that, and then expect to be top of the league.
Yeah.
And it is the same fans that say it, and that was a really eloquent way of putting it, in my opinion.
I also had the bit where people were just basically like looking at, well, he's got to go now. It's like 3 wins at home in 10. It's like, that's not good enough. He's got to go now. Yeah. But we're on 9 unbeaten at the minute. Mm-hmm. He's actually settles out being quite solid and hard to beat. Like Shea Dunkley, I think it was like something cheap, like 20 clearances, headers, and the rest of the team 4. And Shea is starting to look like someone who I could quite possibly say, yeah, let's give him another contract for another year.
Yeah, no, Shea Dunkley for me should get another one. That's changed in a couple of podcasts' time, but he seems to find his feet a lot more now.
He also, at the end of that game, had to have his bridge of his nose stitched up.
I think we need to not... That's the thing, we didn't lose to Gillingham, did we? I said it'd be a typical Wednesday thing to lose to Gillingham. What did we do, though, mate? We came back from a goal down.
Yeah. We got that fight, we got that bit, we just don't seem to have that end product.
We'd have begged for that last season. We couldn't come back from conceding a goal. We had the worst stats around for that. And we've gone from beating Sunderland 3-0, who were up there and will be up there, to obviously conceding a goal we shouldn't have really conceded against Gillingham, but then getting back into it.
I sometimes feel...
We should have won.
Yeah.
The amount of chances we had, we could have easily won if we'd have found if we could have finished our dinner that day. It could have been another Sunderland once we got back onto it. There is not the warning signs there in that Gillingham performance that there have been in previous Wednesday years. So I'm all right with that.
We didn't have Lee Gregory. Obviously. Lee Gregory has apparently got a calf injury.
Yes, we got that later in the thing.
He'd gone for a scan for it today, I think. But the thing is, we got a Windass coming back soon, hopefully. And if we're creating those chances of not bury him, we know Josh can bury him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's quite... Because the thing is, somebody was saying Patterson wasn't working well. I thought Patterson's actually doing well with the position we're actually in with him at the minute, because he's doing all the donkey work. And I mean the kind of like the work a lot of players don't like to do. He's running, he's getting his face in there. And we had questioned over Canberra recently, and we had questioned over So recently. So and Canberra are starting to look like they're ready to fit into that squad. And I think there is something to say about Darren Moore actually leaving Theo out for a while to get into the Wednesday team, to get used to it, because we're now actually properly utilising him.
Mate.
Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense, because guess what? It's November. Right?
Yeah.
I've got to put this realistically for quite a few people. It's November. We signed these players in the summer. It's almost as if we've given those players time to bed in with the squad and given the manager time to go, oh, how are they going to fit into this squad dynamic and what I want to do with them? Almost as if that's how loans are supposed to work when they're here for the season. Find out how to best utilise them and gradually introduce them to the team. And now they're getting gradually introduced to the team, almost as if that was the plan.
Yeah, it's very frustrating at the minute because I got to the point where at the end of the games I turn Twitter off. I don't.
I do, mate, completely. Yeah.
I haven't. I've done that for the last couple of seasons because it's just too toxic.
People are always like, "Why are you like?" People have said to me like, "You guys, you talk sense. You could be really good on Twitter. You could get a lot of the traction and stuff." I was like, well, yeah, because we could just post what everybody else posts, because that is basically football Twitter, isn't it? You post what everybody else has posted. But then also, it's a case of there's so much toxicity on there. I would like us to try and grow the Twitter platform a little bit, but I'm also worried about the other side of that, because it brings so much unnecessary...
There's too much negativity
when it
comes to it. And I like my mental health base to be, clear.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, I've had it before where I've got into spat with people on Twitter, knowing too well, don't get in a spat with the person, don't get in a spat, but I've gone to do it because I wanted my day and say, look, it's this, and this. And then you give them general points of arguments and legitimate points, and then it's like, yeah, but you're rubbish, you've got to go. It's like, and bring in who? And every time I see the whole, you got to go, I always put, and bring in who? And don't say Ryan Lowe, he's not leaving Plymouth.
They're top of the league.
Yeah.
But also, it's a case of Darren Moore needs a bit more patience from these fans. We've got very short memories as fans. You know, we've had some crap recently. If you actually look at our recent history since we dropped originally, it doesn't look good. Apart from
the 2 seasons with Carlos.
Yeah, that's the highest pinnacle.
Yeah.
For Wednesday. In the past, 20 years? More?
Yep. Even more, yeah.
And we've had the League One promotions. The problem is, we all know the potential of the club, but as time goes on, the potential starts to drift. This push out of League One needs to be steady. It needs to be stable. It doesn't need to be knee-jerk. If we come out with this, let's just get a new manager and do the temporary fix, this club needed a rebuild. It needed somebody to be given time who had got a decent CV, who had got a decent way with the players, that could get the right players into the club. And yes, it doesn't have to be immediate success. The immediate success pressure comes from the stature of Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
The actual time it's going to take is what is needed at this club to give it a good run. And I hate to use the other side of the city as a stable argument there, but they built from this league. Yeah. And obviously it's not gone great because they lost the manager that took them there. And he was probably going to take them down. But he got them all the way to the top. And it can be done from this league. If you rebuild in this league, we needed to do it differently. Because when we've gone up, we've been that scrappy side that it takes so much time to pick stuff up. It took a takeover to change us from anything from that. It took us a takeover and a massive cash injection to get us challenging for the top. So it needs to be done more from the root of the club now. And I think this is the Darren Moore route. I think this is the way he's going this time.
But it's also the same fans in the past that said, you can't keep calling for a manager head. You're going to have stability. Well, you got someone, you're going to have that stability. And the one thing I always find really funny is when people go, Darren Moore's out of his depth in this league. He don't know what he's doing. Where did he manage before? And how close did he nearly get them?
But then the retort you always get to that is, well, he knew he was going to sink Donny because Donny were going to, and he was off. But I'm a bit tired of it now. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens, because if we got beaten by Gillingham, I'd be like, right, come on. But you've got to look at how the games play out. The game is not played on paper.
He's building a solid base with the defense now. Yeah, we're still having that whole situation but it's only by a goal or two we're letting in. It's not like we're getting battered. We're actually pretty solid at the back. All we need now is the chances that we're creating to have someone to finish it. You want someone like a Mikel Antoni. You want someone like a Gary Medine, this league, that can do it. Because when we had those kind of players in this league, they did finish. They were finishers. And that's what we're missing at the minute. And it's one of those things. Yes, we've had a treacherous injury run again, which I don't know if that's something to do with the training pitch or whatever, because it happens every season. But the fact that currently we are playing with one recognised centre-back, we're doing pretty damn well.
I get you completely. Let's move on. Let's move on from the matches. Good talk. We talk quite a lot, but it's one of those where you need to... It keeps coming up. I feel like for the past 2 weeks I've been saying this thing about Darren Moore and give him time, because we need to see how the matches go, and it's November. It's November,
and he's been in charge 7 months.
Yeah. And he came to a ship that was already half under the water, let's be honest.
He said in one of the interviews he knew 3 days into the job that it wasn't right.
Yeah, didn't take a genius. League One review. So Accrington played Plymouth, lost 4-1. Burton played Charlton. Charlton won 1-0. Ipswich, Oxford 0-0. MK Dons 4. Cambridge 1. Wycombe 0. Portsmouth 1. And then there was postponed match due to internationals. There was quite a few. There was Wimbledon, Cheltenham, Doncaster, Fleetwood, Morecambe, Wigan, Shrewsbury, Rotherham and Sunderland, Wigan, which is an issue because it's actually... The game in hands don't look great around Wednesday now. We've played 17. Sunderland, who are 2 points ahead of us, have now got 2 games in hand on us. We've got Oxford, who've got a game in hand on us. They've got 2 points more than us. Ipswich are the ones in 9th. Below us, we're in 8th. They're on 24 points. We're on 26. So we have got that cushion there. It doesn't look bad below us, but the teams at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams ahead of us have got at least 1 game in hand on us now. So we got to make sure we're starting to put 3 points on the board quite consistently.
But then again, you can go to the flip side. When teams have got games in hand, that can actually put more pressure on them.
That's true. There is that side to it as well. But we need the points.
Yeah.
26 points, 8th for Sheffield Wednesday. Not too bad. It's always nice to see a positive goal difference, even if it is just 5. Jesus Christ. Have you seen Plymouth and Wigan's goal difference? And Rotherham has got that goal difference.
Yeah. Well, they smashed, what do you call it? Sunderland 5-1, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. 17 goal difference for those 3 teams. That's ridiculous.
Right. It literally goes Plymouth, Wigan, Rotherham, 17, and then Wycombe, 5.
Yeah. It's amazing. Right, let's get into the news. Not loads in the news this week. Parts of this were taken from Examiner Live. They're talking about the season ticket refunds. Apparently, according to the COO, Liam Dooley, Wednesday continue to make their way through the season ticket refunds. More than 8,000 supporters apparently applied for the refunds. Quote, LD explained, that's Liam Dooley, obviously, explained that the ticket officer continued to make through their outstanding refunds. He said the cash flow issues were well documented and impacted severely on the process. The process now has a dedicated member of staff working full-time on refunds, with other staff assisting where possible, working around regular ticket office duties and projects, as you said there, that poor person. And
I'm just going to say this now. Don't do what you did with Elevate, where we looked at it. Oh, look, 3 people work at our shirt makers.
I just, the reason we've put this in here is because we spoke about season tickets a few podcasts ago, and we would be at fault. Not at fault. So what am I looking for? Remiss? Remiss is probably the word I'm looking for not bringing it up if it was... to
be fair,
if there was an update on
I would have thought it would have been more. So it being only 8,000, I'm actually...
That's season tickets though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of our season tickets.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is actually, isn't it? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Never mind. Know what I said. People normally do.
Some good news!
Oh!
For us!
Yes.
Not for every Wednesday fan, it's definitely not Wednesday Twitter.
No!
Liam Palmer has extended his stay with the Owls. This is from the club website. Liam Payne? He's the One Direction lad. See you later. Oh, honestly, I don't even know why the hell would I care?
Do you secretly listen to One Direction?
Yeah, mate. I'm a directioner, all right? There's like a 1D t-shirt with a heart in there.
He got a tattoo with the logo on his back.
I have, yeah. I'm actually trying to think of one of their songs so I could say something, and I can't actually. Oh, they had that beautiful one, didn't they? Back in the. Do you know those kids in that band?
You mean the one? You mean that band who had the lad from Donny?
Bradford. Oh, and Donny and
Donny.
Bradford. Yeah, they had and Bradford. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a football link. See. Liam Palmer has further extended his Essex stay until the summer of 2023. The defender is our longest-serving player, having risen through the academy ranks all the way through to the seniors from the age of 7. Palmer has made 319 appearances so far for his boyhood club and told SWFC.co.uk, quote, "It's another really happy day for me. As everyone knows, I've been here a long time and it's good to stay and kick on for a few more years and get back to where we should be. It's a great opportunity and I want to kick on and help get the job done this season. It's a massive honour to be here playing for Sheffield Wednesday. Every time you wear the shirt, the badge, it means an awful lot, especially to me being the longest serving player." Your
2011, I think it's 2011 when it's either 2010 or 2011 when he got his debut. Brian Law gave his debut. And that Brian Law team, if you don't remember, also had people like Tommy Furr, Mark Beavers, that kind of era. So the fact that Liam's still here, and Liam's improved massively. Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't give him credit for. They just see him because he's been here ages. Oh, he's rubbish, he needs to go. There's something about having someone that stable at the club and also that around that one. Yes, Barry Bannon can do the captaincy kind, hi, welcome to the club and stuff like that. But having someone who's been here and still here to go, look, this is the club, this is what they expect.
Do you know what one of his biggest influences has been on recently?
Go on.
You know, on the pitch?
Yeah.
Partaking in...
The balls are going in.
Whenever it's you're sitting in the stands and you can see Wednesday playing and
the balls are going in.
It's usually Liam Palmer that's,
I'm gonna say this now. When I do my button stuff for him, it's on an actual button, not on a phone. It's queued up on a soundboard.
Yeah, well, I'm not as high tech as you. I don't scour Facebook Marketplace for bits of tech and go, oh, I'll have that, and then I'll get a picture later and I'll be like, why have you bought that?
Because it was 50 quid. And it should be like 200.
That's usually why, yeah. Everybody getting bloody full Elgato rigs for their home office and then they're back at work.
Yeah, the amount of people I've actually seen on Facebook Marketplace go, can't use it anymore, going to do streaming during the COVID and now I'm back at work and it's useless. Who wants it?
Do you know what was good about this? People realise that streaming isn't just sitting there.
People realise
it takes time and effort and planning. And then you've actually got to do all the work around it. That was the one positive from it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It is enjoyable, so there is that side of it.
But yeah, Palmer signing the extension, fantastic. I think he'll make... Oh, could he make 500 appearances, do we think, in that time?
No.
He may get 400.
Yeah, there isn't enough games for 500, Jake.
I know, maths ain't my strong point. Why do you think I get my wife to do all my taxes?
I was going to say, do we... Because he's 319, right?
Bloody hell, he's old. I knew he was the longest serving player, but I didn't realise he was that old.
So you're... Right, but if he's 319, are you telling me...
2023.
Are you telling me he's making 181 appearances?
He don't play every week.
181 appearances. Do that in your head. In 2 years.
Yeah, true.
Not even that, because we're in November.
Oh, yeah, shit. Okay, fair enough. Shut up.
He will, however, because that would be the 500 appearances. However, there will be enough matches for... He'll probably fall just shy of 400.
Please give him a testimony at the end of the contract.
Yeah.
Because he has said he wants to retire at Wednesday. And probably he will do now, without a doubt.
He only needs 81 matches. He might not make 400, though, actually, in that. because we play. Is it a 45-game season, League One?
Yeah.
So there is quite a few in this league, but I think the championship the championship's four. I can't remember. We're not in there this season. I don't think there's enough matches from November for 2 full seasons. Yeah, but the Pizza Cup might help, but we'll see. But he don't really. I don't know. We'll see. But the good thing is he's a really good player.
Jake maths was completely wrong as per usual, but he's an amazing player.
I mean, I just had to question my own then in my own head because I'm not firing on all cylinders. As the listeners of the podcast over the last few weeks know, I'm not firing on all cylinders on Monday evenings for myself at the minute. But yeah, it's really good news.
Yeah,
I'm happy for a bit of news coming out of Wednesday.
Who would you like the next contract to get thrown in front of? Who's out of contract?
Shea Dunkley.
I like it to be Shea Dunkley, but I have a feeling it might be Patterson.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it.
Also, can we just say that Patterson and Bannon's Movember tashes are looking stunning.
Patterson can grow a mustache quite quickly,
he
can't
can grow his hair really fast. Do you see how fast his hair grew after he shaved it? I'm like,
I am not 100% that man isn't like 70% Play-Doh. And he just goes like this. And pushes it all out and it comes out like one of those.
Oh, that's the best face shot you've ever made. Well, there's a reason why it's a big P on your shirt then.
Yeah, Patterson's Play-Doh. Well, that sounds odd.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
It doesn't, does it?
Shall we go on to the next bit?
Might have to put a content warning at the start of this podcast. I think we're all right, actually. We didn't... You said a couple of mild swears, but we're all good. It's just been a lot of innuendo this week.
Isn't that our podcast in a nutshell?
Pretty much, yeah. Dean Smith's gone straight back into management at Norwich City, and you're like, why are you talking about this in a Wednesday context? Because I think Dean Smith will be people that go, oh, Wednesday should go for him. So it was worth bringing up, and the fact he's taking Craig Shakespeare with him, who's a former Wednesday player, as his assistant. So there was stuff with Lampard maybe going there and all of that. Yeah.
I've got a good one for you though.
Go on.
You know the the Gerrard situation at Villa?
Yes.
When Villa play Leicester, it's the El Ractico, because they both left Rangers and Celtic.
I see.
It amused me.
I do understand. What annoyed me was the Premier League era people saying that, like, because I know Rangers are a massive club, right? But so are Villa.
Yeah.
That's what was annoying me.
You said that in a Brummy accent as well.
But I don't think I did, but maybe I did. So, like, this is what annoys me about kids growing up in the Premier League. And I could say the same. I've only ever really known the Premier League. Right. But I also am aware that Villa have been massive, right? Yeah. Not in specifically the Premier League era. So that is a big move. Just because it's not a current big move. For me, that is a worthy move from Rangers. Because the problem is, obviously, the Scottish League doesn't have the weekly competition that the Premier League does. And that's just the league itself, you know. And if you're going to go to a club, Villa makes sense to me as that, you know, stepping stone for a job.
I understand the frustration and the fans of Rangers going mental, but you've got to remember, you were always going to be the stepping stone for him. So the moment that big club came to him, he was gone. Yes, he might have turned around and said everything he said in that interview. And if you haven't seen the interview, just Google Rangers Gerrard, you'll find it. But it happened, and it was that quick.
The rumours coming out of Rangers as well that they didn't have much money left. There's money flow issues, stuff like that.
There's talk of another little maybe going bust again because money issue isn't great.
Whereas Villa are the fifth. People don't realise this. They're like the fifth richest club in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Their owners are minted.
There's also some other bit of news that's not in the document. Derby County will get an additional 12 points taken away.
Oh, what a shame.
They're going to get more points deducted.
Oh, I thought you meant they're going to get their deduction removed for a second there.
Should this further sanction be imposed before the second tier returns next week, Wayne Rooney's side would have a negative point total of -3 and left with 18 points adrift.
I have sympathy for the fans, but nobody had any sympathy for us last season, so I'm kind of like... And to be fair, people were going, well, Derby... The people were actually saying, well, Derby have clearly done it right because they're not getting punished. And we were like, well, wait. Because I always said at the time, we didn't even do that much wrong, really. Because we were sustainable. Yeah. You know? We actually... We didn't have cash flow problems. We were sustained. The reason we ended up with cash flow problems was because, and not just that, but also we had to be careful breaching different stuff when all of it was going on. So, but COVID was a thing in there.
To be fair to Wayne Rooney, though, he paying for like the away travel and stuff and putting them in the hotels and stuff.
He's still getting like 100 grand a week, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but he doesn't have to. He could quite easily walk away, couldn't he?
No, that's true.
He got the money to walk away.
That's true, but he is still getting 100 grand a week.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the bit where it goes, Wayne Rooney's left his job. It's like, the administrator said, we can't pay you now. You're going to have to leave.
100 grand a week.
Yeah.
I would stay for 100 grand a week.
You think?
I'd stay for $1,000 a week, to be honest.
Yeah. Breaking news, 30 boxes, the new manager of Derby County for $1,000 a week.
It'd be a laugh.
You're just getting relegated on purpose.
I've got nothing against... I'm serious. I've genuinely got nothing against Derby. Like, it's one of those where no fan should have to go through all that crap. And we've just been through it. Now they're going to go through it. Potentially going to be worse for them because... I actually think it's better for them to all have it happen this season because they were probably going to get relegated anyway with the previous points deduction.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. If they'd have got relegated and this was still up in the air, this could have got applied next season as well in League One. Get it all in the one season. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Get it all done in the one season. Take it. You know? I shouldn't have said that.
You really shouldn't.
With a break after it either. He's going to clip me out now, isn't he? Right. Do not make a timestamp, Jake.
I haven't done anything, trust me.
Sheffield Wednesday striker Florian Kamberi has told Yorkshire Live that the Owls have the same sort of expectation level as his former club Rangers. Just speaking about Rangers, the expectations there apparently. Quote, I was at Rangers, so I know how it is to be in a massive club with pressure and expectation. League One is not an easy league. It's a very aggressive league. But I knew what was coming. When you're at a big club, it's about just winning games. End quote. Obviously, we're not winning too many of them at the minute, but I quite like Kamberi, you know?
The more I watch him play, the more I like seeing what he's about because he gets himself about. He's very physical, but he's good at holding the ball up as well. And it's nice to see I've finally got that kind of situation where we got that. I don't want to say the name because if I say the name, people are just going to say it's a new Q style player.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is, and
he's really good with his feet.
Yeah, he is.
So was Newey in the end. To be fair, he'd got good footwork for a big man.
Yeah.
What? That wasn't even bad.
No, it's something that came into my head. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's the thing. He's starting to look. He's starting to show, and he's starting to see a bit of in front of goal now as well. So hopefully he can turn that a bit more and get some more goals under his belt. I think he's on 4 goals so far this season in all the competitions.
Yeah, it's I don't know, to be honest. I say yeah because I nodded and I checked you'd check the stats because that's part of your job. But you know, yeah, we'll go with that one. He's doing all right. And I think we'll see more of him. And as I was saying earlier, the loans are bedding in. It's good to see. Yeah. The frustration comes from we are still waiting to hear more about Lee Gregory and Jack Hunt. Jack Hunt's apparently got
Jack Hunt's
fractured hand.
Yeah,
fractured hand or something.
To be fair, you can play with that though. You can just wrap that up. There've been players in the past who just wrapped their hands up and played.
Jack Hunt's not a massive loss for me at the minute because I still think we've got better fullbacks. I sound like I'm really going on Jack Hunt. I'd love to speak to him on the podcast one day and all that, but like, it's just because we've got better fullbacks at the minute.
He's just going to pull you up like you did on me.
The reason it annoys me. The reason it annoys me is because for too long it meant that Liam Palmer was left back and he should have been right back, but now he's sort of centre back. So, or he ends up going wherever Darren Moore decides to put him that week. So, yeah, we've also got Lee Gregory out. That's the big one, really. Lee Gregory with the calf injury.
He's on 6 goals as well, and he'd been. I used the phrase banging him in until he had a go before. I'm like, he's banging him because he's technically our top goal scorer, but not in the sense you want it to be banging him in, if that makes sense. But we do have the likelihood of Windass coming back, and they're photographing Windass in full training. But I was also very much aware and liked Darren Moore comments saying, look, yeah, you're seeing him training, but we're still going to keep an eye on him, make sure he's okay. We're not going to risk it because we don't want it to get worse. It was a long-term injury. There is talk he could be on the bench tomorrow, though.
Oh, so hang on. We got a league match tomorrow.
We got Plymouth in the cup.
Oh, right. I'm not streaming that. I'm not streaming that. Oh, I'm having a night. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'll watch it, but I also will
Twitter commentate.
I'm going to play some video games, my friend.
Oh, what are you going to play?
I'm currently doing the San Andreas remake.
Right.
I'm also...
What is that like? Because everyone told me do not get it because it's buggy as hell.
It's gone Games Pass. Oh, you ain't got
I have. Xbox. I can get it on the PC.
Oh, right, yeah. It's on Games Pass.
I might give it a try.
I don't know if it works on the PC, though. They pulled it because it had the file. Right, this is funny.
Oh yeah,
the files had the old hot coffee mod in it.
Yeah. I may have an Xbox by the end of the month.
Excellent, but yeah, I'm playing that. I've just started Forza.
That looks like a very pretty game, actually.
I'm also back in Skyrim because they've brought it. Well, it was £15 to upgrade the special edition with all the Creation Club content for the anniversary edition, and I was like, I've not played it since they put it to 60 frames on the Xbox. I've not actually, because I started modding it, because I originally platinumed it on the PS4. And I was like...
Don't worry, it's a Wednesday podcast, just to remind you.
No, it's not. What are you on about? We then I was like, I'm gonna do an achievement run. So I've done the trophies, and now I'm doing the achievements, because when I played it on Xbox, I played it because Xbox allowed you to mod it properly before I started like PC modding and stuff like that. And now, obviously, I can play a Creation Club version with the license mods and the mods that work with Bethesda. I kind of get mods, but I also get my achievements, so I'm doing an achievement run. So, cool. Yeah, we were talking about injuries, but that's a good topic to talk about gaming. But yeah, I'm not streaming it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it'd be televised because it's a replay.
I am not sure if I don't know if it is, because I thought we had the stream last time.
But it'll be interesting to see if we can actually beat Plymouth on their patch, because it didn't go well.
No, last time. And you don't really want them to beat us, because we kind of want to keep that record intact.
That's exactly it. We did not need this replay.
Yeah.
Also, you would keep it the record because it's a league record, isn't it?
No, it's an FA Cup record. 100 years since we've been knocked out the first round of the FA Cup. We've not been knocked out the first round of the FA Cup for 100 years. That's something that got said on ITV when they played.
We're getting knocked out tomorrow, aren't we, Punk?
Yep.
The fun.
Come on, record. We like to smash our own records.
We do. Let's... do you know what? Credit to Examiner Live. They've done a little loan roundup. So this is all their work, giving us a loan roundup recently. We thought we'd include it in here. Yeah. Well, we thought we'd include it in the Talking Wednesday podcast this week. And so I basically paraphrase what they were writing in their article about all the players that Wednesday have got on loan. Cameron Dawson's doing well at Exeter still. Apparently, he's made his 16th start, and they won 2-1. So he's still conceding, but he is conceding. I've noticed that actually, even though it's probably he is making quite a lot of saves, so his percentage isn't too bad. Alex Hunt has returned to the starting lineup at Grimsby Town, but they lost against Aldershot Town. I said something different there. I do believe.
You did.
Hunt's made 14 appearances so far for Grimsby, scoring once. Galvin completed a full match against Gloucester, and Dawadu featured in a dramatic FA Trophy triumph over Bootle. Trailing 3-1, they managed to do a fight back, and they held their nerve all the way to penalties when it was 3-3, and they won 5-3. So, interesting loan watch there.
I'm looking forward to see what Hunt's like when he gets back, because I think he's doing enough to get a new deal under more.
I think that if he's got a little bit more of that know-how about him, and if he's put on any sort of size, his technical ability and that. But for me, he don't get in over Fizz now.
No, Fizz is ahead of him, isn't he?
Yes. So we'll have to see. Obviously, we can make an assessment on him when he comes back.
Fizz literally is a tank. I love watching him play recently because he just won't play as other.
He does. He does. Let's go into what our community have got to say this week. We only have 4 topics submitted this week because I've not put one up for the past couple of weeks and 4 people wrote in. Let's sort it out.
On Friday, so I thought I'll give you all a weekend to get some topics, and no one did.
Yeah.
In the Discord.
And we've only used a couple because not all of them are always something we can put in straight away. So the first one is from Adam Smith. If you could spend a full week with a current Wednesday player, who would it be? A lot of people want to know who we want to get close to. I don't want to spend a full week with anyone.
I don't really want to spend a full week myself.
No, I'm going to say. The worst person to spend it with.
Yeah, you end up on the floor all the time. I wouldn't mind Barry Bannon. I'm going to rephrase that. Barry Bannon would be interesting to see what he's got.
Editing that just so you're aware. That's staying in.
To understand what the jobs of captaincy is. Like,
can I just say this? And I'm not having a pop, and I'm sure they're lovely for footballers are people, and people get boring. I don't want to spend a week with anyone, right? And also, footballers are really good at football. Most of them are quite boring. They're like most people's I find only really are interesting when you're having a pint with him for a few hours, and then you're like,
to change it up, which footballer would you like to have a gaming session with? Like a FIFA competition style thing. Change the question a bit. Who do you think you could do like a pro team with and do really well, or pro clubs?
See, I think Wildsmith plays a lot of FIFA, doesn't he?
So does Palmer.
Yeah.
Palmer's always on the coach with a PS5 and TV monitor.
There's certain things that me and Palmer have got in common, actually.
Yeah.
That I won't go into, but so probably I'd probably have more in common with Palmer. So yeah, I'd probably have a gaming session with him.
For me, it'd probably be Patterson. Because I think Patterson's funny. And the thing is, you know when you say like footballers are normally quite boring people? Patterson's a big fisherman. He loves fishing. He's like, he loves fishing. And he loves his darts as well. So that will be... I'm
going to turn quite a few people off the podcast.
You're not a fisherman.
I don't get it. I've never actually been fishing, so that's why.
Did it.
I'm ignorant to it, in fairness.
I did fishing with my dad, because my dad was doing it. It was a way of spending time with my dad. Because I didn't get to spend much time because he was working in school, so whenever he had time off in summer, we went fishing. And
he opened the cupboard. He opened the cupboard. He let you out, and you were like, "Let's go fishing."
Yeah. Yeah, he let me out and he gave me a runabout and they put me back and they took me for a walk the next day.
He even gave you a fresh new potato sack to wear.
Oh, it was a lovely potato sack. I painted it blue and white. But it is boring as hell. You sit there in the cold, you go, I'll just do it. And you fall asleep. Best sleep I've ever had fishing. And somebody could say, well, you're doing it wrong. No, it's boring. I hate it.
Do you not scare the fish? If you start like fitting,
no, they
water.
think I'm family, so they come toward me.
All right, fair enough. I was going to say because, like, also I'm obviously trying to because why would I not make a joke about your disability whenever I could? Because I'm the one that's allowed to do that apparently.
To be fair,
he's gave me. I think he's actually going to give me a physical card that says I can mock him.
To be fair, the one time that I did actually fall in and I had a fit,
I was going to say.
Two big blokes had to get their fishing nets and get me out. And they said, is he all right? And my dad said, oh, yeah, he's used to it. I was like, cheers, Dad.
I was going to say, because it can't be safe for you to be on water. You can't drive a car. So who thought, let's stick him in water and see what happens?
Shits and giggles. You can put me on YouTube, make a fortune.
So you thought your dad was trying to spend time with you. He was actually just trying to get rid of you. Just like, send him in water, see what happens. He's all right.
One of the fun ones this week, I have actually, and it makes me sound really old. The big thing I've been looking at sodding walking sticks because my balance is getting worse. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I didn't realise how many walking sticks there were.
Oh, you want a proper cane? You got to get like one of the canes, like get a little owl cane or something.
That's what I'm looking at. And then I can get my top hat and then I can go to games looking all suave.
Definitely. Right. Thank you, Adam. Next writing is from Harley Norris. Is Atty Nui a Wednesday legend in your opinion?
Yes.
End of. Thank you. We got an email question this week that we've brought in. Best ever goalkeeper for Wednesday?
Kevin Pressman.
You will say that, but my ear, it's Kieran Westwood.
My ear is Kevin Pressman, and he knew how to take a penalty. To be fair, Weaver was pretty decent as well when we had him to play. We had a lot though when you look at it. Lee Grant was at the game at the weekend, and I was like, oh yeah, we had him.
Yeah,
it blows my mind that he's still at Manchester United.
I think we forget how good Chris Kirkland was for us for a season as well. Like, he had a really good season, and then it was quite sad when Westwood came in and displaced him, but then you saw how good Westwood was, and you were like, okay, right.
Well, remember when we had Brad Jones?
The
Liverpool keeper?
Yeah.
We've had some... There's times where I watch football and I'll hear a name of like a keeper where we're watching it and my missus go, is he one that played for Wednesday? How did you know? Well, he said it 10 billion sodding times.
It's not a position we've really ever really worried about. This is the first time in a long time I've been worried about the keeping spot. If you think about it.
No, you're right. We've always been able to get a decent permanent keeper. We've never had them waiting in the wings ready to go, though. That's the one thing I will say. We've always had to bring them in. I've
always thought, like, I can't remember since... I don't know when, because if you think after Weaver it was Bywater. Bywater did his job, then we brought Kirkland in. Kirkland did a job, then we brought Westwood in. We've been sorted.
Yeah. Like, well, back then, we had the whole issue where we were like, we should give Rich O'Donnell a try. Now, Rich O'Donnell's a solid League 1, League 2 keeper. He's like captain of Bradford. And
he is.
You see...
I'm surprised he's not come back to Wednesday, actually, Jake.
Yeah, it would have been nice, wouldn't it? Because he's still a Wednesday lad and he comes up a lot. He comes to Sheffield a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Wasn't Adam Davis one of ours when we let him go to Barnsley and he's now...
He was, yeah. I remember him being waiting.
But the thing is, we've had some very good keepers who just never got the shot as well.
But that's the thing, we've give our younger lads the chance now. That's a good point. Does Wildsmith get another contract?
Well, yeah, but then you've got Rayner and Jackson.
Why do you keep calling him Rayner?
It's
not Pepe Rayner, sir. It's Render.
Render.
There's a D in there. Sir. That sounds weird. We need to stop today.
Yeah.
No, think about rendering a video, all right?
Yeah. Have we got one more community topic?
No, we haven't.
That's it. Good.
We have, however, got some matches coming up. So we've got Plymouth coming up.
Yeah.
Don't need to talk about that one. I'll give you some stats for Accrington Stanley at the weekend, though, in case you aren't sure who they are. Their record this season is 6-3-6.
Not many people are going to get that.
21 points. They're 12th in League One. Their home record is 4-1-1, 13 points. Their away record is 2-2-5, 8 points. They've scored 19 goals and conceded 25, difference of -6. Their last match was a 5-1 loss at Port Vale. At home, sorry. So they scored 1 and then bin 5.
5?
Against Port Vale.
Wait.
League 2 Port Vale.
No, it wasn't. The last match was Accrington Stanley versus Plymouth. 4-1. Go up in the document, sir.
Hang on. Your podcast hasn't broken. Yeah, sorry. The stats are from... However, this was in the FA Cup.
Fair enough.
So I think it was the match before, and then they might have had some internationals or something. That might be why the stats are messed up. So, yes, in the Plymouth stats, they are there.
Right.
Sorry, so they lost 4-1. They lost 5-1 a couple of weeks on Saturday the 6th of November. So they lost 5-1 to Port Vale, and then they lost 4-1 to Plymouth. So,
right, Wednesday, all the chances you made at the weekend, bury them that weekend.
Yeah, so we're going to lose them. So we'll see what happens. They've shipped 9 goals in the past couple of matches, and Wednesday. Yeah. They've managed to. The thing is, they've scored 2 in those matches. That could be the ones that kill us off.
These are the games that, like Gillingham, that we don't.
This has got 1-1 written all over it, mate. Hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's the way Wednesday go at the minute.
Can you imagine if this was the game like Windac came back though? It's like, right, I'm back.
We might not have to imagine though.
No.
On Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that is all I've got for this week's Talking Wednesday podcast. Anything to add, my friend?
I'm very colourful today if you're watching, but if you're listening, just stay safe and have a good one.
Yeah. He didn't go off on some emotional tangent there, probably drained of all the energy. But yes, I hope if you've had a bit of a crap week, like the pair of us, I hope this podcast has found some brief light in the darkness, sirs. I sound such an arse right now, but we roll. I need to go to bed. I
need to send it and then just go.
Indeed. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We appreciate the support. We appreciate you being here and being part of the Talking Wednesday podcast. For this week, take care, and we will see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
See ya.